One ride cymbal to rule them all. One ride cymbal to rule them all. Hey, 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 how are we doing? Seriously, do we know of a ride cymbal that does everything amazingly well? Put some comments in that comment box. A ride cymbal that crashes, a ride cymbal that has a lovely clear bell, just rides clearly, lots of definition. Does such a cymbal exist? I don't think it does. I don't think it does. I'm a little bit old school when it comes to ride cymbals. I like my ride cymbal to sound like a ride, funnily enough. I don't buy it because I want it to crash particularly. You know, if I'm going to crash a cymbal, I'll use a crash cymbal. If I'm going to ride a cymbal, I'll use a ride cymbal. Just putting that out there. I've used so many crash rides over the years, I've nearly killed myself because, you know, people go on and on in the forums about, oh, you sweet ride this, blah, blah, this. It crashes and it rides. Yeah, I've tried them all. None of them do it for me. I like a crash to sound like a crash. I like a ride to sound like a ride. There is one cymbal that kind of does both for me, and we'll get to this in another video, and that's the Sabian Omni. But that's, you know, that's for another video. Again, it is what it is. Haters are going to hate, disagree, put your comments. You know, we like what we like, don't we? So, getting back to the concept of a ride cymbal, a cymbal that we ride on, not to crash on so much, to actually ride on. A cymbal, and I know this is deeply unfashionable to say, because mine are kind of rule and roost with these wishy-washy rides that you hit once and they crash and then you can't hear your stick. You know, it's not my idea of a ride cymbal particularly. There you go. I am very old. A great ride cymbal for me should have some wash. Should have a great bell. Should have that articulation when you play it. There's very few ride cymbals, and I've got a lot of ride cymbals, that I would take to a gig thinking, you know, this is going to do everything except possibly crash, because I've got my crash cymbals. Yeah, and this is probably my best all-rounder. I love, you know, I've got so many rides and I love them all for different reasons, but if I was going to pick one, it would be this one. For me, I could take to a metal gig within reason. I could get away with it in a jazz situation. It'll do rock and pop all day long. Does everything. And it's this. The Sabian 21-inch hand-hammered, or HH, raw bell dry ride. But this isn't just any run-of-the-mill raw bell dry ride. This is the Phil Collins Phil's Choice. That Phil's Choice edition, which has not been made for a long time. Now, being the, again, as I say in a lot of my vids, of a certain age, Sabian, still kind of like new kids on the block. I grew up with Zildjian being the be-all and end-all, and then Paiste being super cool because of, you know, everybody uses them and they just, what can you say, you know. I'm a Paiste guy. And I am aware of the irony of me being a Paiste guy and describing my best all-round ride cymbal as belonging to the Sabian company, but you know. But if you want a ride cymbal that does everything, this is one of the best choices, Phil's Choice. I wouldn't crash on it. I mean, you can, but it's not going to be pretty. But again, when I'm crashing, I would tend to use a crash cymbal, so, you know. Yeah. But the bell, despite, check it out, is not particularly big, but because of the finish and the hammering, it cuts through anything. And then you get that articulation ping and a nice wash. I've used this cymbal from sort of prog metal recordings, so I've done shows on it. I remember using this ride cymbal for a production of Copacabana years ago, you know? So it's like, yeah, I'm gonna use this. I'm gonna use this and nobody knows what it is, and I'm hilarious and having a laugh and being ironic and nobody knows why. Yeah. But yeah, it's so good. I think the only difference between this and the one that they make now is the fact that it doesn't have Phil's Choice written on it. I've done a video before, you know my feelings on Phil Collins. His drum and cymbal sound, particularly on the later stuff, is just amazing. I mean, the cymbals are so glassy. But I remember listening to We Can't Dance and, you know, No Son of Mine and Jesus He Knows and tracks like that, and oh man, the cymbals just popped. They were washy, but they were clean, they had the articulation, it was all there. So yeah, I know he was a Peisty guy with Genesis. I know his ride of choice was a 602 medium or medium heavy. Peisty guys, I know that. But going back, this is such a good all-rounder. If you can get your hands on Phil's Choice, good luck. They haven't made it for years, and it's, you know, but it's the same cymbal as the HH Roll Bell Dry Ride. So if you want to get one for a decent price, just don't get the signature edition, get the stock Sabian one. Amazing. I'm going to play it for you in a minute. I know I've been talking for a long time and I'm spouting. One thing I am emphatic about is that I really hate the new Sabian logo. I mean, you know, this, let's get him up here. That's cool. The new one, what is that? It looks like a spider's stolen a crayon and written Sabian on the underside of a cymbal. Just saying, you know, don't want to be a hater here, but I don't like it. Phil's Choice. This is what it sounds like.